I am actually a B.Tech in mechanical engineering. And then right now I'm doing M.Tech in mechatronics. So basically, after my B.Tech, I was already like enthusiastic towards the projects. So I've been engaged in that process, like research. So from the B.Tech itself, and after the B.Tech, I had a startup of EV. But the point is like after 1.5 year, I realized like this is not my thing. I was already been in the research, so the research and the robotics, that is my thing. So for that, I left the company, and like I stabilized the company. Then I left the company, and then I started MTech in robotics,
Mhm.
like specifically in mechatronics, but in robotics. So like it's like my passion to do. So because of that, I have done like many projects in it. Like so, like previously, I don't used to do like that, but now for every project, I do one project, and I try to make something new out of that. So I have done projects in machine vision systems, basically around the robotics part. And I am also like the main interest is towards space robotics and those systems. And right now I'm doing my thesis work. So it's near completion. So it's on path planning. So this is all about me, like most of the things. And I have also published, like one of my paper has been accepted and one review paper and another two, three are more coming. So, like, I want to pursue my PhD after this. So that's the objective. So, and specifically in Caltech because I want to do in space systems and like towards that side. So I want the best out of best right now because right now what I'm facing is a lack of resources. That is the biggest problem here. And the guidance. Guidance is also a big problem because most of the things I'm trying to do myself. Like in the robotics, the algorithms, even in the basics part, I have to like work on myself. I have to read the paper. So it's like not helping out. And moreover, the resources are not there. So for the PhD, I want to be at a place like where I have the resources, I have the right people around me.
Uh-huh.
So so that's what like I found out like in space robotics and the space systems, Caltech is the number one.
Mhm.
So I want to like pursue like go and study PhD there, but I don't know how to go there. Like many of the people I've seen, they are doing masters again and then they are pursuing the PhD and like that they are doing. So
Okay. So if I understood your question, you are talking about, if I have to break down everything, how to do a PhD in Caltech.
yes,
That's it. Correct?
yes, like that. Yes,
That's your question, nothing else. Right? Correct?
yeah, and internships also because I applied for the internship, the one I messaged you, but the reason was I cannot find any link for that. So he told to message, but I was not his contact. So
So here's the thing, couple of things. So um, if I take your words, what you just said, and everything is correct. So it
mm,
looks like you have passion and everything is there, right?
mm,
And you're talking about getting into Caltech for a PhD program, right?
mhm,
You're talking about cream of the cream, right?
mhm,
And so and I looked at your CV and everything. If you ask my personal opinion,
mhm,
that how you can get into a PhD program in Caltech, looking at your CV, looking at what GPA you have, looking at what schools you have been, that's also a factor.
mhm, mhm,
It would not be that easy.
mhm,
It doesn't matter how passion, because passion doesn't land you anywhere. I have passion, who
mhm.
cares? You understand my point?
I get that.
The value of a company or the value of a person is what you have in your CV.
Mm,
And for that reason, I would say, and it lacks many things. Well, as I said to you, I would not say that those things. If you say, "Hey, Amit, I want to go to University of Cincinnati," I won't say those things. But you're talking
mm,
about cream of the cream.
mm,
You're talking about and being and I think you have also identified very correctly that Caltech is a place where you want to do, if I have to put it on a summary, space research, whatever it is. I think
mm,
you're absolutely right that Caltech is one of the places, not the place, one of the places.
mm.
that you want to do. And part of the reason is because there is a jet propulsion lab next to door to it, and they do a lot of collaboration all together.
Yes.
And JPL is, as everybody knows, is premier in all the work that you just mentioned. They do the best of the
Hmm.
best, right?
Yes.
My if I have to ask you, how would you get into Caltech? I don't want to discourage you, saying that it will not
Hmm.
possible. I won't say that, but I'm
Hmm.
struggling to find it out how it is possible.
Hmm.
That's a very, very tough question that you're asking. And the reason is very simple, as I said to you, is for a couple of reasons. If I look at your CV, you have done a lot of things. You have been to a lot of universities,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
None of the work that you have done or the work you have pursued has produced something extraordinary. It's a regular work
Hmm.
that everybody does. None of the universities that you have been to are considered as top one or top two or top three. That's also
Hmm.
a fact. So, and
Hmm.
you're talking about getting into a school in US, which is top one.
Hmm.
So you are competing with the students who are, if I have to talk to you from India, who are coming from computer science IIT Bombay. You're talking about cream. You are competing with cream. You understand my point here?
I get that. I get that.
And so let me ask you this question now. And this will, and I want to talk to you very honestly and set your goal in a very honest way. If you are a
Hmm.
professor in a Caltech, okay,
Hmm.
and you
Hmm.
have the option to choose someone from IIT Bombay Computer Science or someone from a university which is not even top 10, who would
Hmm.
you?
Of course, IIT Bombay. That's the point. Of course.
So, that's a reality. So what, again, I am not here to I don't want to discourage you, but you got to work on that
Yeah.
before
I'm
you,
actually
before you
uh,
talk about your passion.
I'm what I'm doing right now, like in the like mostly I'm focusing on the projects that are more no novel. Like I'm making a micro mechanism like this small bird, as well as my path planning algorithm. That's also novel. So
No, no,
the one I'm working on right now.
when I say that, I did not use the word that you cannot get into there. I didn't ever use that word. I use the word it would be extremely difficult and hard for me to tell you whether it is possible or not.
Yeah, I get
See,
that.
what happens is, let me tell you, all the if you look at all the people who have gotten into Nobel Prize, none of them came, especially if you look from lot of people, you will find very few of them are from Harvard. Not everyone is from Harvard. I will give you one example. There is a professor called, I think his name is Ramachandran or something. He is a professor in biological sciences, I think in UK.
Okay.
He did his BS or BSc from University of Baroda.
Oh,
You understand my point? But then what happened after that? After that, he went to one of the best schools. My point here is to you is very simple. If you are thinking high, you have to put, let me ask you, if I will say, hey, this is Starbucks, okay,
mm,
and and this is some ABC coffee.
yeah, of course.
Natural instinct is you go with a brand. So brands are important. Not many people
Mm,
understand that it's not about that they provide the best education. No. Otherwise, if that would have been the case, every students who get out from IIT or MIT or Harvard would have been at the top. Doesn't work that way,
yes, I get that.
right? But if you find that somewhere there will be a link, what I'm
Mm,
trying to tell you is, if I was you and if I'm aiming that high, I would do MTech from IC Bangalore, and then I can talk. You at this point have to work 3 times, 4 times harder. And I am not the person who can judge your.
you're correct.
No, no. What I'm saying is,
Actually,
no, no.
for the master's course, I was selected in Imperial College London and the University of Manchester,
No,
UK.
that's fine. I
I
mean,
didn't went there. So
no, no.
the
We
one
don't talk
you're
about
saying, like for
we
the
don't talk
master's
about what
level,
happened. No, no. We don't talk about what
that's
happened.
why I wanted to go there.
No, no. That's what I'm saying. We don't want to talk about what happened. Forget that the past.
Mm,
What you have right now, right?
yeah.
And so what? With that said, and let me tell you, I want to get into MIT. I never got into MIT, but I have colleagues who work under me are from MIT now. My point here is you I did not get into MIT because my application was not power enough. Although I
Mm.
graduated from IIT, everything was there, but still it was not there. Even after my master's, I applied at MIT, I didn't get admission still. And I was wondering why. I knew the flaws. What I'm trying to tell you is you should have a realistic expectation from yourself. Don't make
Yeah, of
unrealistic
course.
expectation. And this is not to discourage you, but do the right thing. My guess would have been is if whatever CV you have right now, if you're gonna apply for a PhD program, 99% chance it will get rejected. 99.
Mm.
I mean, application is fine. I mean, they get free money for application. Give it to them $100. That's fine. But what will happen? So that's the reason I'm trying to tell you that you have to be. So here's the one way. If you go to IC website, okay,
Mm.
and look at, you will find professors who have done their PhD from ISC, sorry, Caltech. You will find people there.
Mhm.
If you would, if you are the PhD student of one of those professors or master students of one of those professors, I would still say you have a chance.
Mm.
Try to find a link first.
Yeah, I get
And
that.
and and,
Sure.
and, and as I said to you, I'm not the right person to judge how good your work is, but
Mm.
to prove that your work is good. So if you, let's say, if whatever work you are doing right now, let's say if you are at IIT Bombay, it will easy for you, or MIT, it will be easy for you to say, hey, I did this. And for me, it will be easy to understand, hey, this guy is from one of the best places. I'm pretty sure it's doing good. That's fine. But if I'm not, I have to justify it like 5 times.
Yeah. Yes.
That's is it. So that these are the facts. So what all I'm trying to tell you is there is a saying called you can't climb stairs by looking downwards. So your approach is fine.
Mm.
You're looking upwards. But you know what is the gap between the stairs? You can't climb a stairs which has a gap of 10 meters.
Mm.
A 3 foot gap is still you can climb stairs. But if there's a gap of one between one leg and another is 10 meters, do you think that you can able to climb something like that?
Mm.
So have a realistic approach in whatever you are thinking. I think you have a passion. I see your CV and I saw the way you put your questions and all that is absolutely fine. That's the first thing everyone should have, passion, right? You have that, but do the right things. If you're not going to do the right things, what will happen is your all your hard work is going to go waste, and then the frustration is going to seep in, and then you will get more frustrated and nothing will happen because frustration leads nowhere. Because
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
true.
as a human psychology, you have to understand the only reason we can, if you look at people who have consistently good in their career, is reason is because at every stage of their career they have been rewarded. So
Mhm.
let's keep them going, right? So let's say, and you will, if you talk to someone who does a lot of good work but never get rewarded, just imagine how frustrated that person would be. And the
Yeah.
reason, and if you look at the right reason why that happened, you will figure it out that they have a lot of passion, they had everything, but they don't do the right thing.
Mm.
And then they blame, oh, I'm from here, that's why it doesn't happen. I'm from there. No, it's not like that. It's
That's
the world is a level playing field. You're not in a disadvantage, you are not in an advantage. We are not living in 1960s where a person has to say, oh, we have to take a boat and then go to UK, then cross the river 3 times, and then 3 months after we will know what will happen. I mean, in our days, we have to send a paper application. Now it's like internet, everyone. I mean,
yeah.
for someone like you, watching a MIT open course is the same as me, as someone who is in the village in Gujarat or somewhere, right?
Mm. That's
It's a
correct.
technology has made it a level playing field. That means that nobody has advantage now. A student who was from IIT who has a certain advantage 20 years back should not say that I have the same advantage. It's a level playing field. Trust me. Nobody has
Mhm.
a special advantage now. You have everything is available to you as anybody else, so it makes it more difficult. You have to think in that way.
Mm,
If I was you, okay, let's talk about solution now.
mm,
So we talk about making a realistic goal, and let's talk about solution. Solution would be is I would email a professor, a cold email. A cold email is something called where you don't know anybody and you, out of the blue, you're
mm.
saying, hey, my name is this. I would like to talk to you. What will happen? Two things will happen. The person is either say, okay, or they will say, delete.
Delete. Yeah.
99% chances the option would be delete. 99.
I usually do. I got like 2, 3 acceptance. Yeah, that's it
No, no, no.
until now.
Percent chance. Nobody. I mean, I don't entertain people. If I see something,
Yeah, of course.
if you don't send me enough stuff, I have a lot of other students who are doing
Yeah,
who are delivering. So why would I talk to you, right? So
that's correct. Of course.
so what I'm trying to say, whenever you send an email to a professor, make sure you have a substance there. Don't write 10-page email. Nobody
Mm,
reads it. Nobody reads it. More than 4 lines is enough. You should be able to articulate your email in 4 lines. Nobody is going to read it otherwise. And how you can do that? Stop talking about I am doing well and you are fine. Just come to the point directly. My name
mm,
is this. I have an undergrad, and attaches
mm,
my CV because CV is going to tell everything. So don't
mm,
have to elaborate. Oh, I have done project here and there. Nobody reads it, right?
mm.
Your
Of
CV is
course.
going to tell them everything. So you don't, and then just mention that if you want to tell about whatever project you mentioned that you are working on this robotic project and you have found. So let me ask you, if I write a email to a professor saying that, hey professor, my name is Abhishek and I'm passionate about what you do. Can I reach out to you? That's one email. The
Wow.
other email is where I say, hey professor, my name is Abhishek. I saw your paper about this. I read it and I found it very interesting because this is very similar work that I did on this robot, where I'm using the
Mm,
similar sort of a mechanism to
mm.
do for this application. Which is the better email?
A second one, of course.
Absolutely, substance is important, right? So as I said, if you reach out to professor, make sure that your email is articulate enough because that professor is hammered. I'm not talking about email, hammered.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
I'm pretty sure they have a special box called delete where they say,
Yeah.
and many of these professors, by the way, have secretaries. Probably they don't check their emails too. The secretaries are doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Correct.
just as I said, just remember all those things. But as I said, if you want to reach out to Caltech, so one is the cold email I talked about. One is other is where you know someone. So for example, if you're working on a project at ISC Bangalore professor or IIT professor or anybody professor who
Mm,
has some
mm,
sort of a link at ISC, Caltech, like
mm,
that person has done PhD or he used to be there for summer programs and things like that. Work with that professor and then you can say, hey professor, this my name is Abhishek, I'm working with this professor and I'm contacting you because of he told me about your work, and so this puts a connection, right? So
mm.
find that connection also, so that will help your email to be more vigilant.
Mhm.
You
Uh,
understand the point
One
here?
more, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And so like if like I do like masters, I don't know, should I do the masters again in US or somewhere in a good college and then go into like PhD, or
That's
should I
that's
get a
no that's
PhD in a
that
nearby college and then do postdoc there
depends on what you want to do. What's your end goal there? That's important. What is your end goal if I have to ask you?
to become a researcher and professor?
Again, what's your end goal?
Uh, to land at Caltech.
Again, that's a fine, but what's your end goal there after Caltech? I'm asking if I have to protect. So because end goal
Yeah,
is important, you have to understand. End goal could be I want to be a research scientist, but
yeah,
where?
that's what I'm saying. A
But
researcher.
where?
Oh,
Is it in India?
I want to come
Is
back to
it?
India. Yeah, I want to come back to India. Definitely.
Yeah. So if you want to come back to India, for you to do another master's there is a waste of time then. But my point
Mm,
is, as far as you're able to as far as you're able to get into a school with a good PhD program in space, and there are many other universities other than Caltech, like University of Michigan, very good ranking, really good program.
Michigan, Northwestern,
Yeah,
Northeastern, maybe.
yeah. I mean, as I said, just go to US News and look at the ranking of US universities in aerospace department or whatever. Um, Colorado School of Mines is doing an extremely good job. At Lockheed, we do a lot of work with them, and they are doing extremely good job. Colorado School of Mines. So as I said, you just not to rely on Caltech only. There are,
That's
there are many other good universities which have a really good program. And for if you get a PhD from there, for you to come back to India and get a job, even in IITs, would not be that difficult. You know what I mean?
mm. So, the one I told you, like why I want to be there. The reason was I don't get resources and the right amount of people around me.
It's
So
everywhere,
I wanted to be at the
but it happens
number
everywhere.
one place so that I got the resources. At least I have the resources and the audience to see that, and I can attend conferences, journals. Like people around me are like that. That's why I said to the best. But yeah, I can go for like nearby colleges, no problem for that. But the point is,
Remember,
this all has to be satisfied.
but remember, Abhishek, what I told you about this. The world today is a level playing field. If you
Mm-hmm.
complain, that's your problem. You can keep complaining. It doesn't help you. I don't have
Mm-hmm.
resources. I don't have that. Figure it out. I mean, you are living in. I just remember the people who used to be in India in 90s. Figure out how they used to. We when we were undergrad, we didn't have a printer at our department, and we used to run
Yeah,
around.
we do that the same. We do the same. I
So
have
so
to go here and there to for this.
no. So what I'm trying to tell you, that's problem persists everywhere. You
Mm.
think that you will come to US and they will give you a nice bedroom and say, "Hey, Abhishek, here is your printer. Here is here is the money for conferences." Doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has unlimited resources that they can give it to you. You have to demand, you have to prove yourself, and it will come to you. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe you are lucky enough. That's other story. That's we don't talk about luck because who cares about luck if I don't see that. But what I'm trying to tell you is you're not going to come to a university in US and say that, hey Abhishek, this is your desk, this is your printer, this is your computer. You know what will happen? They said buy your laptop, go to library, take a printout.
Mm-hmm.
That's normal.
No, not that point. Like we have to, like
No,
I'm doing a project. I
no,
need
no. What I'm
some
trying to tell you,
laboratory for
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But again,
At least that should be here. I worked on one project that like works with the neurons. Like, okay, we use the sensors, we get the signal, and we move it. So for that, I have to go to ISC Bangalore. It's
that's
like
fine.
that
Yeah,
too,
yeah, that's
way,
fine.
way more applications, and they give us only one try, and that's
No, but that's how it is. The less resources you have, the better, the more hard work that you need to do. And education is not just about getting things done. It's how you get it done. A student has to go through this churning exercise. That's why you are a
yeah,
student.
that's true. That's true.
So don't complain. Complain will not work. Let me tell you one thing of the rule of the life. If you go and talk to someone and you start complaining, I don't have this, I don't have that, you are putting a wrong impression. Never do that. That's my strong piece of advice.
You're correct. Actually, you asked to
No, no, no.
say
I am
you're,
giving
you're
you that as advice. You can talk to me anything. That's why I'm here.
that. Yeah, that's why I said. Otherwise, I don't even say that.
No, no, no. You should not be saying it because, as I said to you, that person will think this guy complains a lot,
Yeah, I know.
and then he. So let's say if you talk to a professor and start complaining, he said this guy complains a lot, and he's gonna come here and do the same thing.
No, I never say that. That's why.
No, no. But what I'm saying is, whatever you just telling me, it's all these things doesn't matter.
Of course.
I mean, there are then you can say, oh, there are people in Africa or people in somewhere else. They don't have food to eat. How they can study? That's not the point here, right? You want your job get to be done. Whether you have to wake up at 3 o'clock, whether you have to wake up at 6 o'clock, whether you have to drive to Sri Lanka or whether you have to go somewhere, it's your problem because
Yeah,
that's
that's
the end
correct.
of the day you will get rewarded, right? And you will
Of
find
course,
that.
of course.
Yeah. Let me ask you, do you think all the students, whether they go to MIT or Caltech, and there are many students who do that, right? Every year they go to MIT or Caltech. Do you think they have all the resources? Just think.
Of course not. Not all what they want. If they want God to come, he won't come.
Exactly. So It doesn't work that way. That's all I'm saying. So again, coming back to the point, let me summarize it because I have to talk to someone else also. Have a realistic approach, and then once you have that, make a plan. As I said to you, try to get in connection with someone who has the link. And then the third thing, as I mentioned to you about, is Caltech is not only the one, there are many others. And then
Mhm.
the last thing I want to tell you is make sure you are clear with your end goal. What is your plan?
Yeah, I'm clear with it. Definitely.
So if that is your plan, work backwards. Getting a PhD from Caltech versus getting a degree from another good school, it's the same thing. Do a good job. And
Of
and
course.
and lot of students, excuse me, what they do is they do PhD from IC and then they go postdoc and do it Germany or somewhere, and they go back and then become a professor. And actually, that is much better, in my personal opinion, if you're looking for a job in India, because you want to have a network in India, and that PhD allows you. So for me, one of the difficult thing that when I was trying to get a job in India was I didn't have any connections. I had friends who did their PhD and were doing a postdoc with me. It was easy for them because their advisors are big shots, so-called big shots in India. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I get
I
that.
was, yeah. So what I'm saying is, if you get a PhD from IC, you could do a good job. You do a postdoc. If you do a PhD from IC, it will be very easy to for you to get a postdoc in a very good university in US, no doubt. You do a postdoc couple of years, come back and become a faculty in India. If that's what your goal is.
Yeah, I have some professors calling me in ISC and IIT Delhi
Yeah.
for PhD.
Yeah. I mean, go to IC.
Yeah. Actually, I've been in contact with them, so they are like if I apply, I can. But
That's
but I was thinking like directly I should go for PhD
as
outside
I,
and then come back.
if you get into a good school, do it. If you get a full scholarship, do it. If not, choose the second option.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. And what about sir? What about the internships? Like, I was thinking I have a period like before this masters and PhD. Also, internship outside India.
Would,
That's why I was looking for
yeah, but
JPL. Like, if I
yeah, yeah,
get
but
that internship.
it would be challenging. There are a lot of students here who get first chance.
Mm.
A lot of international students in a university. Like for example, there is a PhD student doing a PhD from Rice University.
Mm.
I would say seeking a internship outside India. I mean, I know like a lot of students, they do that during summer. I know a lot of students who were in IITs with us, they went outside and things like that. You can keep looking into it, but it's a matter of chance, to be honest with you, because there is a lot of paperwork for them. A lot of the students I have seen, they go to Europe, but very, very few come to US. If they come on their own expenses. Let me put it this way. But Europe, yeah, definitely a lot of students go to Europe. So looking in Europe would be a better option.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Abhishek, nice talking to you. And keep
Same
in
here.
touch.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.